But who would help the poor? Is a question you get asked all the time as a critic of government in some version or another. People think that without the safety net of government entitlement programs, people would fall through the cracks left and right, left to suffer and starve with no one there to take care of them. So I wanted to pass along some of my favorite responses to this question. The first thing you could do is just simply turn it right back on them. Are you going to help the poor? And if they say no, well, why are you asking this question, pretending to care about them anyway? They're not going to say no. They'll say yes, and that's great. I'll help them too. My family will, and my friends will. And whenever I bring up the idea of a stateless society, that is the number one concern. So obviously, there's loads of people that have this worry. They would be taken care of. They would be taken care of through nonprofits, churches, families, charities, in ways that are much more efficient and localized than what's happening right now. You could take that farther and ask, do you believe that democracy is a reflection of the will of the people, of the will of the majority? Yeah. Okay. Well, there's already systems in place to help the poor brought to us by the democracy that we're living in. Or actually, it's a constitutional republic, but everybody likes to say it's a democracy. Just roll with it, whatever. Okay, so if these things exist right now with a government that's a reflection of what people voted for, there's no reason to think that they won't continue to exist without a government. Another great thing you could do is ask them, what will the poor do when the government runs out of money? What if they have to prioritize in the future and everyone that is economically disadvantaged gets screwed? What about that? I mean, instead of taking all this time and focusing on theoretical problems of a voluntary society, let's focus on the inevitable problems of the real current world we're living in. I mean, we are $20 trillion in debt. We have over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Math. Bubbles are gonna burst. Things can't continue on this path. It's undeniable. It's math. A lot of people don't understand math. I know this from having taught it. But what are the poor gonna do then? What are they gonna do? It might happen next year. It might happen in 10 years. It might happen in 50 years. What about those poor people? People wouldn't pay for things if they weren't forced to, and people really wouldn't donate to good causes and nonprofits and churches and charities. Wrong. Wrong. The ACLU has raised over $7 million in a week since Trump has been elected. I guess because they're afraid he's gonna get rid of it or something. I don't know. But this is how things would get funded in a free society. People would pay for what they use and what they believe in. People are extremely charitable and resourceful already, even under the financial burden that the government places on us all. Imagine how much more we could be capable of without the government. And John Oliver is suggesting that we do this as well. Listen.
I'm talking about actual sacrifice to support people who are now under threat. So, if you can afford the time or money, support organisations that are going to need help under a Trump administration. For instance, if you're concerned about women's health, donate to Planned Parenthood or the Centre for Reproductive Rights. If you don't believe man-made global warming is a silly issue, donate to the National Resources Defence Council. If you don't think refugees are a terrorist army in disguise, donate to the International Refugee Assistance Project. Oh, and also, given these guys' track record, I would also recommend donations to the NAACP Legal Defence Fund, the Trevor Project for LGBTQ Youth, and the Mexican American Legal Defence and Educational Fund.
That's how it would work. That's a great free market solution. That is how things would get paid for in a voluntary society. I love it. It's happening already. It would happen without government. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to click like and subscribe, and come again soon.